welcome to the Dental Diaries podcast. I am here today with Raina on the cusp. She is a third-year dental student from the University of Sheffield in the UK. You are my first UKer. I'm so excited. She has recently started her dental Instagram page and YouTube channel, both by the name of Raina on the cusp, where she makes videos giving advice on dentistry, getting into dental school, and her life as a dental student. Her passion lies in creating dentistry content or dental content and helping dental school applicants. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Thank you so much. So tell me a little bit about, so you're currently in dental school. You're a third year.
I am, yes.
Wait, let's just start talking about school right now and how this is for you post quarantine time. I know, we were just talking about my husband's from England. His family is there. I know that, it was tough over there as well. How are you and where are you in school right now?
So I go to the University of Sheffield in the UK. The past few months have been strange for us all. I've not been at dental school since March, actually, this year. So I've been off for quite a while now, but I'm hoping to go back in September.
When you mean off, do you mean did they close? Did they do any online learning? I mean, clinical obviously is very difficult. You can't do that unless you have people.
Exactly. Yeah. So everything's shut. So the university, the dental school shut in March, but the learning and the lectures moved online. And obviously we haven't had that practical element. We've not been able to do the hands-on dentistry that we want to, but they've been great. We've had a lot of support. Our exams in May were also online. It's been a strange situation to adapt to, but I'm really looking forward to getting back to it hopefully very soon.
Oh my gosh, of course. Exams online, that's got to be tough because how do you know that? I mean, right? I guess it's a what do they say, faith-based thing. I don't know, that you just that you don't go look up the answers.
Yeah, well, they actually made our exams not open book, but they said we could use different sources of information.
Oh,
so it was So actually, it was okay because we were allowed to reference things and find information. So they were pretty fair to us.
I would have loved that in dental school. I had such high anxiety going into exams, into the big. I remember it yesterday because I seriously had anxiety because I like to take my time. People would finish their exams right away and everyone would be getting up finishing and I'd only be halfway through, and it would have been so nice to do it on your own, or I don't know, just with a little more flexibility, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It did feel strange because I was literally just in my bedroom. I didn't really have to get ready for the day. I just rolled out of bed and then the exam started, and it was such a strange thing to go through. But I'm glad I've had the experience and come out of it the other side.
Hey, when you're in college and dental school, don't people still just roll out of bed, do your exams? Pretty much. I've seen some in flannels, I'm sure. Especially if you pulled an all-nighter studying. I think a lot of people do. What is it in dental school in England? Isn't it a little bit different than here? Do you go right after high school, undergrad? How does it work there?
Yeah, so you finish high school at the age of 18 and then you apply to university to do a degree, your undergraduate degree, and you can go straight from high school into doing dentistry. And dental degrees in the UK are 5 years long. Unless you choose to do a foundation year, then it's 6 years. But yeah, it's straight from school into university. It's a much shorter pathway, I believe, than the US.
That's amazing. Yes. Unless, and of course in the US too, we take on so much debt. I don't think it's the same for you either, which is a dream, right? Over there, it's just different education system altogether.
Yeah.
Health and school.
Yeah, it's definitely a much shorter pathway. Like you said, not as much debt, but still quite a significant amount, enough to be reminded of the debt.
Right, of course. Yeah. But you can't, I always tell people that it can be so overwhelming. especially too when you get out, you know, and you look to purchase a practice and things like that. But I'm a big believer, like that's your home away from home, and you have to love it. It has to resonate with you. And like at the end of the day, the money part doesn't matter, because when you love it and you're there, like it's going to all happen, you know, you're going to make it work, and like the money's going to come, and it's all good.
Yeah, exactly. So I truly believe like the 5 years of dentistry here is such an investment into the future. So I try not to think about, you know, all of the money that was spent now. It is just a thing to set you off for lifelong learning and, you know, hopefully a very long career in dentistry as well.
Yes, absolutely. So I, in my research on one of your YouTube videos, I learned that your, which amazing PSS YouTube channel, check it.
Thank you.
That your parents are both physicians, right? And you decided to go the dental path, the dental route. You want to tell us like how you, with two parents that are MDs, like decided to become a DMD or DDS? What is it? Which one is it?
It's BDS.
Oh, even different.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a Bachelor of Dental Surgery.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. My parents are doctors. My dad is a urologist and my mum is a gynecologist. So I did work experience with them in the hospitals a few years ago when I was applying. And I just found that the hospital environment wasn't quite for me. I feel like doctors don't get as much freedom in decision making as dentists do. Dentists can choose what materials they want to use, what kind of practice they want to run, how many patients they want to see, etc. And I also feel like dentists have the ability to see their patients time and time again, and build a much deeper relationship with them.
Yes, agreed, 100%. Like dentistry is such a rewarding experience in so many ways, which obviously, you know, having made that decision to get into it. How did you make the decision with, I mean, now you've been into it and obviously you've been loving it, which is great, but to help empower younger people looking to get into dental school, like where did your YouTube channel come from? Like the passion for that?
So it's actually something that I wanted to start when I joined first year of dental school. But I never had the confidence back then. I felt like people might have thought it was a little bit silly, a little bit different.
Not me.
Thank you. But then we had a pandemic and I found myself with a lot more time on my hands, and I realized that I was by myself in my room and there wasn't really that element of judgment from anyone. And I thought, you know, if not now, then when?
Right.
Exactly. So I feel like out of this pretty horrible situation, I've kind of tried to take a little bit of control and create an opportunity for myself and try and help people. So that's really where it started.
It's tremendous. It's tremendous. I've said, although it's such a horrible time, like, you know, personally, so incredibly grateful for it. And many people that I've talked to have been able to, once you get off that hamster wheel, like step into what your calling is and you're creative and do it really well. And wow, like you have, I mean, did you know, I mean, I know, okay, so I know all of the things like YouTube channel and the thumbnails and like what goes into it. And I was watching your video when you were just like, here's like a day in my life or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, I know how long that took, like with the camera and the angles, and then to edit it. Like it is so time consuming. I mean, I definitely, I've dabbled like in and out. It's something I've wanted to do, but there's no way with the amount of time that it takes that I personally like could do that right now. I still have goals, but how did you teach where you self-taught to do all the creative, like thumbnails and stuff, or?
So I, my boyfriend helps me a lot with editing and doing thumbnails and that sort of aspect of it. I handle all the script writing, the filming and everything, but we're definitely a very collaborative team.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm very lucky. Without him, like you said, I definitely would not have as much time alongside uni work and, you know, everything else. And I create all of the content for my Instagram as well. So it's been a massive help having both of us behind the scenes working away.
So two peas in a pod, like it. So he has, what does he do for his like? So he in video and or?
So no, he's he's a third year medical student actually.
Oh my gosh, stop it.
Yeah, we go to the
Wow.
same university, and no, he has no background in video editing. Everything was taught, so he's sort of, that's his passion, and he wanted to handle that side of it. And I sort of kind of, we have ideas together, and we sort of come up with ideas together. But he does a lot of that side of it.
So your boyfriend's a medical student, and then so when I think of medical students, I don't think, like, dentists definitely are creative. Like, I feel like dentists, like you said, the art, the design work we do, like there's this perfectionism, line angles, and I don't know, just such a creative that we would have more of that than I would see a medical student having, where they're more like right brain, left brain, right? Kind of thing.
I see what you're saying entirely. I think to be in dentistry, you definitely have to have an artistic side.
Yeah.
But I mean, from what I've seen from him, he definitely has his artistic elements. I think if you are doing YouTube and creating thumbnails, like you said, into photography, you have to have a little bit of the artsy side.
That's hard. I love that. Just keep talking. Yeah, I was like, I love the heart in the background. It's so cute. That heart is adorable. So
lights up, actually.
What is it?
It lights up, actually.
So it lights up. So she has this heart in the background behind her. I wish sometimes people could see, like, with it being video versus a podcast, because everyone has like the coolest things behind them when we're talking, which is super cool. But yeah, so back to the thumbnails, like those are hard to do. But I mean, that's amazing. So the thing is, with you getting back to school, so I know it's one thing being in quarantine and having all this time. I mean, me too, like I stepped into creative and like loved it and was 24/7. All of a sudden I got back into teeth and mouths and dentistry, and it was like, boom, I hit a wall. Like I just trying to show up with work around work, but it's difficult. Even I started this podcast and also another one for Dental Soiree, and I kind of had to pick my lane, to stay in for now. I mean, I'll pick back up. I've had to learn to be very patient and knowing that things will come when they're supposed to,
Yeah, it's amazing. You seem like you have so many different ventures and so many different sort of avenues that you've gone down. Like, I really, really admire that. I was having a look through all your pages, and I was like, wow, like she really does everything.
Thanks. I do a lot. I mean, but I'm multi-passionate for sure. Like I said, and I still have like my bucket list items, which is a YouTube channel. I mean, I was just telling the girls, like, watching your YouTube, I'm like, I wanted to step in. And the reason why I wanted to do a YouTube channel is because, to show people that you can do all of the things. Like, you really can. Yeah. And if you're passionate about something, I mean, that's my big thing in life, is just not to stay stuck in something. And if there's something else you want to do, which is why Dental Girl Gang, like, that's my thing and that's my vision, because women have other dreams too. Like, yes, dentistry is incredible, an incredible career for sure. Okay, on your YouTube channel as well. Oh my gosh, I was just looking. What the heck? Tell me that, what was it called? Like Immersify? Oh my God, I was like, how did I not, like, I've never seen this. Like, what is that?
So they are a new dental education app. They're very sort of modern and up and coming. They use augmented reality in their games. One of them is called Dental ID, which is a tooth morphology game. And you can actually use it to see the tooth in 3D in the room that you're sat in, which is the augmented reality.
Like Snapchat, part. Like the Bitmoji dancing, like in the room.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm working as an ambassador with them, so I just thought, as part of the day in the life video, I would, have a play on the app and show it off a little bit. And
absolutely, I want to show it off. I want to get it just to put a dancing tooth in the room. Like, that was really fun. And granted, like I said, and you know what? It was crazy. I was like, actually, I could probably learn. Isn't this funny? Fast forward, you've been a dentist for I've been a dentist forever, and you don't use half the things that you learn in school, to be honest. Cuspa Carabelli, like, maybe there are a couple things I remember, but I don't know, and then there's CAD CAM technology today with CRX. Do you guys have CRX on your clinic floor, or?
We have CAD CAM.
Okay. Maybe a different one.
But we don't really get to use it as such. We do learn about it, but it's not sort of in our everyday practice on clinic.
Which makes sense because you do have to learn how to do all of the things. But I know here in the States, like at Tufts, which is where I went to school, like they have a lot of the CAD CAM technology. And it's amazing because honestly, like you do have to learn all the things, you have to know them. So that's good, like hands on. And I'm glad too that I had the experience coming out for as long as I did, because I feel like newer dentists are going to come out with the skill set and with their hands, which you need to know how to do, because in case the CAD CAM is technology and it can break down. And that's happened when the whole thing is like gone down, which isn't good. And you have a cut tooth down to like a nub that you've got to like now create and shape and form a tooth around with composite. But it's insane because it makes all the anatomy like perfect for you, and the marginal, you know, ridges and contact, like everything's perfect and the machine does it.
That's the thing, like dentistry is a field where the technology and the research is always evolving.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting to be in. And one of the things that I personally love about dentistry is that you learn for life. Like you never stop learning new things, and because things are coming out all of the time in the field. So you need to sort of keep your skills up to date and what you know as well.
Yep. It's important that you, like for dental students coming out, I don't know what I would say. And when I talk to dentists, it's more of finding, well, one is creating the vision for what you want, right? Like that, the type of practice that you want, and what you love to do. Because yes, although things are ever changing and all of that, you know, I feel like a lot of dentists get right out and they jump in, which is good. And I did that too. It's like, okay, I'll do an extraction. I'm going to do root canals and I'm going to do all the things, you know, and fast forward, like what I ultimately love to do was like cosmetic dentistry, you know, and now I'm kind of niched for that because I think it can be very overwhelming sometimes to do it all. Because if you pick just a couple things, then you can continue your education and do those exceptionally well. You know, like if it's implants or, you know, what have you, those kind of things. Like I haven't done a root canal.
And I also think it's.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I was saying I also think it's quite important to develop some specialized interests a little bit early on, so you know sort of what direction to go in. Dental school my dental school, we actually get experience in all of the different specialties quite early on. So we, you know, I do like the cosmetic side. I know I like the orthodontic side. So you already tend to develop ideas of where you think you kind of want to go down, which is really helpful in terms of narrowing down, like you said, the route that you want to take.
Well, yeah, especially with cosmetic, you have to set the foundation up for success. So a lot of times you have to do ortho before you can get started, get the foundation and then build the house, you know, it's good. So that's awesome. And the thing is that you're young enough too, that you can decide, like, if you did want to do a specialty, my gosh, you're still going to get out of school and be so young, and you have the world ahead of you, you know, depending on, like I said, what you want to do. You've got gorgeous teeth, by the way. No, I know everyone can't see her, but your smile is gorgeous. Your teeth are like perfect.
Thank you. I did have braces actually.
Right, your story, right? Is that where it all started way back when too? Your braces?
Yeah, it definitely played a huge part in seeing how rewarding dentistry could be. And for me, I had very crowded teeth, and once I got them straightened, it definitely brings out such a new type of confidence in you. So yeah, I definitely like can see how sort of rewarding, especially cosmetic and orthodontic dentistry can be.
It's so good. It's so good. Like I love it. Like I love it. It's so incredibly rewarding. And, you know, to the confidence thing too, what's so fascinating, just recently I did a case, a mom wanted me to do prepless veneers on her son. And he, you know, he's 18 or he's 20 years old. So but he had braces, but his teeth were just tiny, you know, they're just like smaller teeth. And it was very juvenile for him. And she was just like, I really, you know, you're the person. Of course I did her teeth, and I actually did her daughter's teeth too. So, but I just didn't want to touch them because we still have that element of like, oh, the teeth are so healthy, they're so perfect. But at the same time, I was like, okay, you know, if I'm not going to do it, she would find someone else that would, or like, you know, I get it. Okay. So like, you know, we did the diagnostics and like waxed it up and tried it in, and it literally was a game changer for him. Like it just made him, matured him so much, and his smile just became so big. And like I said, from a confidence standpoint, because sometimes ortho can't do it all, and like I said, cosmetics does. And you have to be good at it and know, like I said, how to do that correctly. Because I didn't even have to. The good news with that is I didn't have to feel badly either, because I didn't prep his teeth back. You know, a lot, you know, barely anything. Like he walked out with no temps, which is really cool to do. So there's a lot of fun to be had when you get out beyond what you're even learning now when it comes to that kind of stuff. You know, for sure.
And it sounds like sort of you also take the conservative approach, which is what
Always.
we get taught here, and and always, you know, to protect the tooth tissue, and you know, explaining to the patient that you don't get it back, and not sort of taking more away than you need to.
Right, exactly, which is why the CAD is amazing, the CAD cam, because you can do, instead of cutting teeth down to crowns, which I've never been that person to do anyway. So if a dentist is like, oh, this tooth has fractures, I'm going to do a crown. Like I'm one to be like, hey, you're 30, 40 years old or whatever. Like it doesn't matter. If they can have an inlay, like an onlay, replace the cusp. I always say, let's preserve the rest of the natural tooth, because guess what? The next step is you'll need a crown that might be like 15, 20 years down the road. I mean, I would rather that. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting journey. You definitely grow a lot. You know, once you get out into I was going to say the real world, but you know, out of the clinical practice, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. I feel, well, in the 4th year of dental school here, we have something called outreach. So it's a sort of a few weeks you go out into surrounding dental practices. So you're not working in a dental hospital anymore, you're sort of out in the real world, as you said. And a lot of people have told me from older years that it's where you start to really feel like you're actually becoming a bit of a dentist, like a proper dentist. So I'm looking forward to that next year, you know, hoping everything goes ahead as normal.
It will. And then it's just like riding a bike, like you get out and, you know, it takes you a long time and all of that. And then really like you could close your eyes and do it. What's so amazing for me and rewarding right now is, you may have seen, like I created Dental Fluence, and I'm working with dentists that are just out of school. And it literally, so for me, when you say like, it's so amazing to hear when you say like, there's so many things and you can forever keep growing, because I've been through everything there is, like Spear and Las Vegas Institute. And like, I've done all of the education and I do all of the things. So I kind of feel like I've hit this like place where there isn't really anywhere else I can go. I'm good. I'm really good at what I do. I mean, I love what I do. I'm a like crazy perfectionist when it comes to my, you know, like I said, the work I do and its outcome and everything. But with the dentist that I am working with, oh my gosh, it's like relit my fire to be able to teach, because I love like helping them see what they don't see, and then creating those treatment plans and like walking through them, and then they feel so rewarded as well, like doing that case and then like walking through the entire thing start to finish has been so fun.
I think mentorship, like you said, like you're taking on younger dentists, is so important in the field of dentistry. I've sort of come to realize it really is who you know, as well as what you know. And you know, you need to get out there, you need to network and meet new people, and you need to have mentors that you look up to and are the best in their field in order to learn their techniques and how they do things. So I think it's so great that you're sort of doing that, and you're like taking young dentists under your wing.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Like it's just been so, which again, you know, if we go back to like to the COVID, the quarantine time, like I said, such an incredible gift, because I had dentists right in front of me all the time, and I was working with them. And then, like I said, one real, asked and kind of begged like if I would do it. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, yes, like of course, like why not? And then, like I said, just kind of stepped in, and now it's just kind of become this thing that just fills my heart, and it's so incredibly good. And I think it's like where I should be. It's it's really rewarding. And so yes, to mentorship for sure, because when you step into practice, especially solo practice, you're by yourself and you don't know where to go. And a lot of times dentists are stepping into a practice as well that was owned by someone that's retiring, who really had kind of let go of dentistry sometime years prior to. So, wasn't really educating on what were like was in people's mouths, maybe doing one tooth at a time, versus now we do more of a comprehensive approach. And today, time is so valuable for people. And, you always want to suggest, I think dentists are really, just afraid, to say, it's like that confidence, and you're like, oh, like, I don't want to say, you've got like all these fillings, so let's watch this. Well, like, why would you ever watch a tooth that has decay in it? It's bacteria. Like, go get it. It's that mentality that is shifting from what was to where we are now. And education is a huge component. We have technology is huge today, for the education. But I never bump into walls with patients because of educating them, and what we see. Like I said, if you don't see what you should, then that's tricky. So absolutely, like, if you can get in and do an associateship at first with somebody, and learn from them or something like that, it'll be really good.
Especially because dentistry can be such a lonely career at times, because you are, even though you do have your dental nurse and the rest of the dental team, you are the one making the decisions and carrying out the treatment, and you're liable for all parts of it. So one of the reasons why I think actually, social media is such a nice way for people to connect, especially dentists. With it being so lonely, you have access to dentists all over the world, dental students, applicants. When I was applying to dental school, I had no idea that dentistry even existed online. Yeah. I didn't know that you could speak to dental students from the schools that you were interested in. I didn't know that you could, just message a dentist and find out a bit more about a certain type of treatment. And that's been so eye-opening for me, to sort of be that person for people that want to find out more about dental school. I love getting messages from applicants asking me, do you have any tips for the UCAT? I have a UCAT series going on my YouTube at the moment. That's one of the entrance exams for dental school, and medical schools here. And getting questions about, what is life like at Sheffield University? What's it like to be a dental student? What books do I need? All of these questions I wish I had someone to answer for.
Yes.
So, that's sort of the reason why I'm doing it. And it just keeps fueling me when people say that I've helped them, and, made their journey a little bit easier, especially this year that's been so crazy. And things have been a little bit different in the journey to getting into dental school.
Right, of course. No, I love that. I love that you're doing that as well. I have an intern in my practice right now. She's Campbell. She's amazing. And she is interning because she wants to go to dental school. And we were talking about Girl Gang, all of us, and, kind of the future of that, and where we're going, and how to help, right, with all that. And she went rambling. She's like, let me just write down all the things I would love to know about how to get into dental school and all of that kind of stuff, which is, so we have her following you now too, but I think that that's incredible to be able to speak to, to all of the things and help people, help.
Yeah, exactly.
Educate.
Especially because some of the people that I get messages of, they might be the only person applying to dental school at their high school. So, sometimes even their teachers or their tutors don't really know the process of applying. And by social media and through the internet, they have access to not just me, but several dental students who have been through the process, and can give them a bit of guidance and make them feel better about the whole thing, and like they're not alone.
Right. No, social media, as you know, like I think social media is absolutely incredible. It's how I've met all of you, how we have all connected. And I think it's so incredible. And the reason why as well, my other fire, my other passion is to try to explain to dentists, because you all get it. The millennials, like everyone up and coming gets it. But there are so many dentists out there that still aren't even mobile friendly with their websites, that don't understand but like my practice is a fee for service, and here in the States, that's very unusual. You know, and how I find, which means I'm not in network with insurances. I don't have insurance. How I find my patients and my people is showing your culture through, you know, social media channels and outlets, and connecting, because connectivity is where we're at today. So it is so important for everybody.
Exactly.
You know?
Like, do you find that patients come to you and they say that they found you off Instagram and that they've, you know, had a look at your work? Because these days, you know, dentists that I've spoken to have said it's sort of people want to look you up and want to see what you've done before.
Absolutely.
Before they make that investment in you and themselves, obviously. But having that portfolio online is so handy, and you know, you can just quickly sort of get it out and be like, you know, this is what I've done, this is my previous testimonials, you know, this is what people have said about me. And these days, when everyone is so connected via the internet and everything has a review, you know, at the end of the day, we are providing a service, and I think the easiest way to have that reviewed is via social media.
Oh, of course. We're selling dentistry. We are selling. I mean, absolutely. People don't need teeth. And yeah, you need to get that kind of stuff out in front of people. And I tell everyone, like, including you, you are already doing it. You're building your brand. It's huge. And every dentist should have one, whether, like, I mean, I say start that now, you know, and build it. But you're absolutely right. I mean, I have had people come in that have already made their buying decision on the outside. And we're talking about big veneer cases. Where other dentists are like, how did you do that? And it took me so long. And then they're like, oh, I'm going to go talk to my husband or whatever. The people that continue to seek other consults is because they didn't get that secure feeling, you know, that they needed to commit because they didn't trust. But if we create an element of that through social media and they come through your doors and they feel the same thing that they felt through the lens of, you know, through, like I said, their, you know, phone or whatever. It's an
emotional thing, isn't it?
Yes. And they've said yes, like post quarantine time, I had several come in that had so much time to think about their smiles that came in and said yes, chairside to get it started. And they were new people I had never met, but they had just been following over the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So, amazing.
Yeah, I've actually, I'm working on a video at the moment for YouTube, and I've asked many dentists and dental students to talk about how COVID has affected them. And one of the dentists actually said exactly what you've just said, and that people have had so much more time at home to think about their smiles, and everything's sort of been amplified. You know, there's mirrors, they're looking at their smiles, they're not at work every day. And then he said that resulted in many more cases once they reopened.
Yes, absolutely. Like, I think everybody during that time, like I said, it was a gift because people were forced to go inside, right? Everyone had to dig deep, and either people did Netflix and chilled and kind of numbed themselves to it, or people really went inside to say, what do I really want in life? What means the most to me? What matters? And I think that, yeah, a lot of those people too, that maybe with their confidence just never loved their smile, was like, you know what, it's time to, I'm going to make the move and make something happen. And for many reasons, maybe they didn't do it prior, but it is life-changing. It's absolutely life-changing. And it's incredible to be on the other side of that and be the one to make that happen and do it, like I said, do it really well, do it really naturally. I mean, that's my thing and my signature. Like, I want to make sure, like, I'm obsessed. I mean, if they might be like, I love it. And I'm like, like one little, like, I can see, a little line angle or turn, like the embrasure or something. And I'm like crazy with, like, it's not 150% like perfect. It might be character, but they can usually, like I said, see it in my brow, my eyebrows raise or something. They're like, what? But
yeah, I'm the exact same. Like, if there's a small little bit that's not quite right, I'm like, no, I'm not okay. Like, no, I just need just a little more tweak.
Yes.
The patient will say, no, it's fine. Like, I'm happy. And I'm like, no.
Many of us, that's the thing in dentistry. Many of us are like crazy perfectionists, which is a good thing in dentistry, but unfortunately sometimes it carries into our lives. Certainly for me, I've had to work on letting go of things, other things, because like I said, it can kind of overwhelmed sometimes, you know, where everything, like I said, the straight, I get like that even on Instagram sometimes with like, wow, like the angle it went in and the water line wasn't wasn't straight. It's kind
Yeah,
of
definitely.
like,
I'm always there, like lining everything up and making
right?
sure that it sort of kind of looks aesthetically okay.
Yes, I know, for real. So, I mean, and with that, like, how are you letting go doing your videos? Like, are you just feeling now with your YouTube channel and your videos, like you can just jump in without having to get all dolled up? I mean, when I used to do video, I used to make sure I had, oh my God, I definitely blew out my hair. And I think I probably did hair and makeup. Maybe I did lashes. And now during COVID and everything else, I'm like, whatever. I look the way I do. I've got gray hair. Like, you know, my Botox is worn up, whatever, you know, just, I'm going to jump in because at the end of the day, content is queen and you just have to get it done.
Yeah, exactly. No, I completely agree. I still do my makeup and everything because I don't want to scare anyone away on camera.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm definitely one of the biggest things that has come with starting a YouTube channel is actually being more comfortable with myself. You know, most people have their insecurities and things they don't like about themselves, but having to stare at myself on a screen and, you know, watch myself over and over again, it really does sort of, you know, you glaze over the things that used to bother you and you just get on and making the content, like you said, and getting it out because ultimately you're helping people and that's way more important than what you look like or a tiny little flaw
Of
that you think
course.
you have.
Of course. Yeah, no, I mean, your YouTube channel, like I said, is awesome. Like, is awesome. I love
Oh,
it.
thank
Totally
you.
inspired me, like, to just dive in and get back into it. I love that there is that creative outlet and element to really reach a lot of people. Obviously, YouTube being a search engine, I mean, it's just tremendous. And your channel has grown a ton and is only going to keep growing and growing once, like I
Yeah,
said, the word is out. So
hopefully.
I hope, I mean, you continue. Like I said, I know it gets really tough. There's a YouTuber I'm thinking of, and I can't think of her name right now, that I used to follow that was going through medical school, and you know, and she got it done and she made it happen and continued with the videos even when she finished, like, you know, her residency and everything else. But on the other side of it, I'm like, gosh, you know, I know what that takes. It's a lot of time and
Mm.
energy, you know, but to hope that fire is big enough because you are really, really helping a ton of people.
Yeah, I've always said from the start as well that even if nothing comes from the YouTube channel, there's actually so many skills that are transferable and that will help me sort of in my career and for life. You know, sort of scripting something and talking to a camera and, you know, trying to make something engaging and easy to explain. That's one of the biggest things as a dentist, trying to explain processes and, you know, disease processes in a simple way for patients. And then
Right.
learning about photography, videography, all of these things that we need in dentistry anyway. So I always said, you know, even if I don't get anywhere with the channel, it's not a waste. I've learned
No.
many things.
Did you buy a camera specific and a mic, like Rode mic and everything specifically during the quarantine to start the channel, or did you already have it?
So I'm actually using my dad's camera, so I already had the camera, but I did buy a Rode microphone. I bought lights. I've been trying to play around with my background, trying to make it, you know, aesthetic. But yeah, there's a lot of thought that goes into a YouTube video, and I think people don't realize how much goes into it. It
Yeah.
takes a long, long time to make a video, but you know, ultimately, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, no, I know. So I will tell everybody it takes a long time, especially to get it looking, like I said, yours do. The cuts, like, oh my gosh, all of it. And then the creative element. Obviously the camera is a huge part too, because the clarity is so good. And then the sound, you want them to be amazing. But yes, it's a lot of time.
Yeah, exactly. So I used to have the Rode microphone attached on top of my camera, but I realized the sound wasn't as good, so I went and bought a boom stand. You know, one of those stands that sort of
Yeah.
goes above your head. So now the microphone's a lot closer to me, and honestly, sound quality makes such a difference to your
Mhm.
video. I didn't realize till you know you look at some people's videos on YouTube and you realize that it's actually the sound,
Yes.
not always the video quality.
Right, right. But it's hard too, because like you said, if you're taking the camera on the road, you know what I mean? And you're walking and talking and like all of the shifts. I've been like obsessed with cameras and have bought so many. We have so many road mics, so many cameras, like dabbling, playing. But I like I said, goals, hashtag goals. You'll see me on YouTube at some point. I've got all of the stuff.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh my gosh. Like I said, it's like, it's
You
time.
should go for it.
I know I have a lot to say. I do.
Yeah.
I do. Like on this side of the podcast, I wanted to bring all of you in because like you all are so incredible and you have such incredible stories and you have so much to say. Like on the other side too, I'm like, I have a lot to say. And so I did a podcast. I didn't have like a podcast. So I was trying to batch them because again, it comes down to time. It's like, and you probably know this too. And batching is the only really way to go so that you're, you know, you can just keep going. But I didn't have something. So I just got on to do a check-in for my own podcast, which is what I did during the quarantine. And I kind of feel like, I don't know, it's me talking to myself, and I would much rather talk to a camera because I feel like I'm talking to an audience than sitting there just like talking into a mic. Like, you know, I think I would do better on YouTube than an actual podcast talking to myself. It would, I don't know, people would be more drawn in because there would be the creative element, like I said, of color and movement and all the other things. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's so much extra editing and sort of, you know, little zooms, text and pictures and things that actually make the video engaging. Because I'm sure if I just uploaded the raw footage of me, like no one would watch that.
Oh my gosh. Yes, like your zoom ins of your mouth. Oh my God, with the teeth. And you're like ortho, and it's like boop, 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 like in and out. So cute. I love that little touch for sure. I mean, the elements are perfect. Your thumbnails definitely like draw you in immediately because they're so well done. And then like your videos have been so well done. I definitely went down the rabbit hole. If I'd had more time, you probably would have been on in front of me all day long. But it's
thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll have to, like I said, circle back to it. I know anybody that I meet that has an interest or will be going, you know, into school, we definitely will, you know, I'll definitely have them be following you. And then of course on Dental Girl Gang, hopefully, like you said, we can put this up as well. And for young women out there that are aspiring to go to school.
That really means a lot. Thank you so much.
Follow you. Yeah, no, I absolutely love it. I love what you're doing. Where can, so people, do you want to do all of your shout out for all of your handles where people can follow you?
Yeah, so if you want any more dentistry content or, you know, curious about my life as a dental student, follow me on Instagram at Raina on the Cusp, and on YouTube, I'm Raina on the Cusp as well.
I love that you have branded handles that match. Yes. That's awesome. So yes, everybody tune in for Raina's amazing Raina on the Cusp YouTube. Of course, her Instagram is incredible as well. You can follow her Instagram to know what YouTube videos are up and coming. You can make requests via DM for things you want to see. She has really like taken a deep dive and is doing it all. So congrats to you on dental school, and like you're coming up on your last year, like here soon too, like 3rd to 4th. It's going to go by in a blink of an eye, and you're going to be practicing dentistry. And I can't wait to follow and watch your journey going into the next big thing, because that's really, really exciting as well. And then you're covering like all bases for all of those people out there that need you. So
thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thank you for coming and being here today, all the way from the UK. I love it. All right. Thank you.